But you understand, we do have one game left to play. Hey, fantastic. Every single one of you. I mean, I'm not just talking about these last 60 minutes. I'm talking about the quarterback schools, the mini camp, the off-season, the training camp, down in Austin when it was hot and you were tired, the whole bit. Everybody, you did one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yo, Cowboy fans only. Yo, look, this is for the Cowboy fans. 8th Wonder, Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan, yeah. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th Wonder, Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. Yo. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan. It's time to eat, off tackle or the sweep. Behind Teron Collins, ain't no problem feeding Zeke. And Dak lick his chops when he see the lamb deep. You know 88 tradition that repeat. Coop route like Irvin, watch for Cedric in the slot. See us try to gallop to the end zone, they can't stop. Dalton up the seam, Jarwin carving up your team. Tony Pollard, X Factor, Kellen Moore with the scheme. We applying pressure with Lawrence and Gregory. QB's getting sacked, can't relax, rehab therapy. Micah got a hit list, Jalen Smith hit stick. No escaping, Leighton got him. Trayvon with the pick six, dig that. Kazi go kamikaze, the defense is solid. Find me in Dallas at Jerry's Palace among stars. Screaming Cowboy fans only, yeah. Screaming Cowboy fans only. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th Wonder, Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan, yeah. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th Wonder, Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan. Shout out J Tuck. Subscribe to his YouTube page, Cowboy Fans Only. CowboysFansOnly.com for all your merchandise. Cowboys stand up.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck. Eagles fans, this ain't what y'all want, I promise you. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. You're now tuning to CFO Sports. So if you are new, do us a huge favor. Comment, like, subscribe somewhere down there. And be sure to hit that subscription button. Also get them shares up, get them likes up. We got everybody in the building. I see my guy Sam in the building. He says Eagles. You know, we got my guy Professor O, got my guy Real Fuego in the building, my guy Cooking Truckers Live, everybody in the building, Mendoza, Lone Star POV, what's up everybody? So, like I said, once I came back off of vacation, y'all, we was gonna turn up a notch. So I had to call up the big dogs. We had my guy Rome Cowboys Fan Talk last night. So I had to call up one of my favorites. This guy's been one of the guys I've been following since I started this. This has been a big brother to me, been a huge inspiration, always encouraging me. And he brings that fire, man. He don't drink no Kool-Aid. He don't sugarcoat nothing. So we had to bring that real tonight, man. So CFO fam, let's give a warm welcome to my guy, Big Game James. What's going on, bro?
What's up, dog? Hey, man, I appreciate all that good stuff. You made me feel like this real good, all bubbly on the inside, dog. Hey, it's good to talk to you. As soon as you hit me up and say, hey, man, let's go live. We need to get this in. I was all the way on it, ready to get it in. I love kicking and talking football with you. I see you out there doing your thing. Big us. Much congratulations to you.
Appreciate it.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Like I said, I had to reach out to you, man, because, you know, you've been kind of getting some scrutiny like myself.
I've been getting hella scrutiny, dog. We been getting all kind of scrutiny, dog. You ain't real Cowboys fan. Y'all fake fans. You ain't real fans.
Yeah, bro. I mean, me, James on the fake fan list. They almost got wrong last night, you know what I'm saying? Because we trying to be optimistic, man. So we definitely going to talk about it, man. But for the people who are seeing you for the first time, James, let them know where they can find you.
Hey, you just check out the handle, Big Game James. You can check me out on Twitter, Instagram, it's like that, Facebook. Just hit the channel. You know what I mean? We talk Cowboys football. We do a lot of other things. We mix it all up. Come talk to me. We try to keep it as real as we can.
Yeah, facts, man. Definitely give my guy a follow if you haven't already. So what we gonna do, James? I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. So we go into the offseason. Right. We have free agency. We brought in a few guys. James Washington. Here, nothing too special. So what was your thoughts going in from free agency into the draft? Do you think, okay, the Cowboys is really going to fill the void and make a push? Or were you thinking that, okay, we did more than enough to fill the holes? Because, of course, we lost Lyle, Coop, Randy Gregory, Blake Jarwin's out. We were sitting here watching that video talking like, man, all the people gone, man. All the people gone. So what was your thoughts going in from free agency into the draft?
Man, I kind of knew what they do. I mean, just like you know, Tuck, we know how Stephen Jones kind of operates now. You know what I'm saying? He does not mess with that free agency. We know what he's going to do. He's going to always kind of wait for that third wave of free agency, kind of see what kind of discounts is out there and see what he don't really got to pay for. And he's going to put all that lifeline in the draft. So it's what I thought it was going to be. And just seeing kind of how the draft kind of fell. They drafted kind of how we thought they were going to draft. You feel me, Tuck?
Right.
I mean, they have those type of players that they want to draft, and it kind of fell like they did. So, I mean, I don't get excited about free agency any longer. I know what it is. I don't even think about free agency. I know they're going to always be on the back end. I mean, they got James Washington. I ain't going to lie. I'm not really excited about that.
Okay.
I do like the Dante Fowler. I think that could be something that worked because, Dan Quinn and Fowler didn't really get to work with each other because, he got fired. And so he didn't really get to work with Fowler. So I'm kind of excited about that because I've always liked Fowler from afar. But, as far as the draft, I like how they did in the draft.
Okay.
I think they got, it right with a lot of players and they fit that system, Tuck. So, let's do it as far as the draft goes.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you next. So now we're into the draft mode. When we had the draft, I know a lot of people were kind of skeptical on the pick for Tyler Smith. Now, I'll say this, James. When I scouted Tyler Smith, I love the player, but I didn't like him at 24, to be honest with you. But when I kind of think about it, hindsight, we all know that left guard was a position of need, and we kind of got wiped out. You know what I'm saying? We were high on Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green, some other names. We were kind of wiped out. So if we were going to go guard, now I respect the move a little bit more because now I see the Cowboys' thought process. But what was your thoughts on day one when they took Tyler Smith? I mean, there's other options available. Jermaine Johnson, who we both were high on, Lewis Dean, and the list goes on and on. But what was your thoughts on making the move to pick Tyler Smith?
I started hearing it in the noise the day before, so I kind of figured this could happen. And I think, in my opinion, Tuck, when we saw the Eagles get Jordan Davis and we saw the Giants get Kayvon Thibodeau, I think that kind of pushed Cowboys to say, hey, let's go ahead and get that offensive lineman now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just feel like they were looking at the other NFC teams, especially with the Eagles going after getting Jordan Davis. They stacked that defense. So they're thinking, hey, we got to combat with that small offense. So we got to go ahead and get that. And I feel like that's the reason why it kind of happened the way it did. I feel like if the draft fell a little bit different, maybe they don't go after Tyler Smith. But I feel like that, in my opinion, I feel like they looked at those Eagles, Jordan Davis. They looked at them Giants. They're going after defense. We need to stock up this offensive line. And to me, I didn't like it at 24, but like you, I understand it and I get it. And I like the potential with him. And one of the things I'm high on him about is he's a Texas boy.
Right.
And that means a lot. When guys are born and raised and then they go play for the Cowboys, he's got a lot of things where he says, I don't want to let people down.
Right.
So I like that.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, calling him, the fat Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? He looked like Cooper in the face.
You did that perfect. Bro, you were so good with that, dog. Just want to let you
know what I'm saying? He looks like Coop, man. But like you say, even though he's young, he's extremely poised now. He kind of came out, was dry stitching a little bit yesterday. You know what I'm saying? When he's talking about, these schools going to offer me this type of money to trade. I'm like, bro, you a little loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like you said, James, I feel like he's going to be very blue collar. We already seen the photos with him and Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, so they're going to get him right. And I feel like if anybody is going to be a land mover, it's going to be Tyler Smith at that guard. There's going to be a lot of things fundamentally he needs to work on, but he can just put another big body on big body and he can move. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like about the kid. Plus, in case you do need an emergency, he does give you position flex because he played tackle at Tulsa as well. So guys take that in consideration. Now going into the second pick on day 2, Sam Williams. Now we all dropped the film on Sam Williams. I like what I saw, James, on the film. But it was just the red flags I was starting to hear. And like I said, it's no knock to Sam, really. It's just like from the Cowboys standpoint, every time we pick up them red flags, we get burnt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of just drained from that mentally. But it seems like he has his head on his shoulders right now. He's a new father or whatnot. And this is a Dan Quinn pick. So I feel like Dan Quinn is really going to put his hands on this kid. So what do you see when you look at Sam Williams as far as his upside potential for his rookie season?
I mean, he's got a lot of upside. You did an awesome video, and I really liked the video that you dropped on him. But he's got a lot of upside. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. There was some red flags that that I had already talked about in my prior videos. If you want to go check it out, you can. I don't want to go super expound upon it because it is a little bit.
Right.
But we're talking about just the football aspect of it. I like the talent, but I will say this, Tuck. 6'3", 260 pounds, 4'5". You love those,
right?
But when we saw the 12.5 sacks, I'm gonna be honest. I saw him against not so great tackles.
Right.
I saw him not so great blocking. So I feel like I don't think he comes in as a starter. I had him more of as a 4th rounder, in my opinion. But I understand why the Cowboys did it, because they're like, hey, if we don't get him now, we're probably gonna lose him. Dan Quinn loves him. We love Dan Quinn. Let's go ahead and do it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the way it came out like that. But I like his potential. And here's the thing. If Dan Quinn worked him out and says, hey, I want this kid. I really want to coach this kid. I feel like he has a plan for him.
Right.
Just like he had a plan for Micah, just like he had a plan for other players at the position. I think he has a plan for him. So I like it. And I like the upside. And then when you got the Dante Fowler and then you re-signed the Dorrance Armstrong Jr., he doesn't have the pressure of starting right now. You can kind of slowly bring him in. And I think it's better for him because I think he can be the spot duty guy, pass rush guy, and get maybe 5-6 sacks guy that you didn't think because, he's not starting. And I think it's going to be better for him.
Yeah, I agree. Like when you look at Sam Williams, like I said in my video, he's a mold of clay. Like if he was going to create a defensive end, it's going to look like Sam Williams. And so I trust Dan Quinn with the pick more if this is more of an offensive pick. And Dan Quinn wants to teach and mold them, so I'm going to give him the opportunity to do so. Salute to everyone in the chat. Sadiqa, what's going on? Sam, what's going on? Got my guy JC Sports Talk Eagles in the building, but he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to talk about the Eagles here in a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? I know you guys, you and my guy Rom got a showdown on Sunday, and then we going to double back up. So you and Rom going to go against Joe and Lord Brunson on Sunday. It's like at 11:30, right, in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. So 11:30. So definitely tune in for that. So they gonna give them some blows, and then Monday, me and Lord Brunson gonna go 1-on-1. You know what I'm saying, on Monday, man. So these Eagles fans, I get the excitement, which like I said, which we'll talk about. But the question he asked, he was like, "Why didn't the Cowboys draft Dean?" It was just something with those medicals that were spooking teams. I didn't know the medicals were that, crazy, to be honest with you. But I still think Dean's is phenomenal talent. I'm not going to, slight him just because he's an Eagle. He definitely has the talent in the upside, but I guess there was something with the medical, shoulder or whatever. He didn't want to get the surgery. Who knows? But like I said, I feel like Sam Williams is going to be decent in Dan Quinn's scheme because he can stand up a little bit, so he can play the outside linebacker if need be, if Dan wants to get creative. Now, the next pick was a guy me and you both were high on, man. And I love this kid out the gate, and you watched him closely at the Senior Bowl, was Jalen Tolbert. So when it comes to Jalen Tolbert, now that Michael Gallup is, what is your take on Michael Gallup? You think he's going to be November return? That's where I kind of have him, like mid-October, November. Okay, perfect. So we're on the same page. So what do you think the expectations is for Jalen Tolbert coming in fresh out the gate? Because I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity day one.
I'm just agreeing with you with that. I think they're going to push him to be the number 2 right now.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think he's going to have the opportunity day one to be that guy.
Yeah. I definitely feel that way as well. I mean, the kid is silky smooth. You had talked about him before I had know about him. I was looking at all the receivers, and I'm gonna keep it real. When I looked at the receivers, Tuck, I looked at more the middle tier because I knew where the Cowboys were drafting and probably where they may get the receiver. You feel me? So that's why I looked at. That's when Jalen Tolbert came in. You had talked about him earlier. I seen you had mentioned him on Twitter. So I instantly, I respected what you do. You got me turned on to Asante Samuels, you feel me? Because you're a Florida State guy. Yeah. So I respect what you say. So after you mentioned that Jalen Tolbert, I went and took an eye on him, instantly fell in love with the kid. Loved the measurables, loved what he did. He doesn't scare away from competition. He's silky smooth. I just feel like he can be one of those type of guys, you feel me? And then when I got to see him at the Senior Bowl, he's one of the best players that ever came out of South Alabama.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like the Cowboys are going to push him to come right in instantly and make plays. And I think the stage is not going to be too big for him. You know what I'm saying? So I love what they're doing because, they try to pump fake as Tuck. Stephen Jones did and try to say, oh, Michael Gallup's 2 games. No, it wasn't. We knew daggone when he tore his knee up, that daggone died. It was going to be at least all of October, maybe November. You had Blake Jarwin, who tore his knee up week 1, and he was still on the cords and the bands. You had Tristan Hill, who tore his knee up week 4, week 5. He didn't play until mid-season. You get what I'm saying? And Michael Gallup is not the fastest healer in the world.
Yeah, I mean, because he had the calf and everything. Yeah.
You feel me? So, and that felt like that was a long time. So if that was a while and you had a tore up knee, I just don't see you early. So I really feel like they're gonna push this Jalen Tolbert thing, and I'm all with it because I ain't gonna lie, Tut. I'm not on James Washington. I would rather Tolbert come right in, really hit the ground running, and make it happen.
I agree. I know a lot of people are kind of optimistic on James Washington. I don't see it. So, but maybe it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I was a fan of just bringing Malik Turner back, or we should have signed Sid. I think if Sid knew what was going to happen in Miami, he might have stayed because now he ain't getting no balls tossed his way.
None.
He's an afterthought. But I agree. I think that Jalen Tolbert, and me and Rome talked about this last night, is that if you play fantasy football, you might want to snag this kid hella early because he's going to get a lot of targets. And it was interesting to hear, Dak already spoke to him pre-draft, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Cowboys like the tip they had, I guess. But Dak already spoke to him. He's already in the playbook. He's already has that relationship, with Dak Prescott. I feel like he's going to get a lot of targets his way, and I definitely love me some Jalen Tolbert. I think he's going to be a solid addition. Now, it's going to be interesting, James, when Michael Gallup does come back. How does that dynamic work with him, CD, and Gallup all? Because I feel like Tolbert and Gallup kind of got that same build, even though Tolbert's a little bit more slicker in his route running, so he can play the slot, but he's kind of more of that X wide receiver as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Dallas Cowboys' plans is for these 3 wide receivers. But I'm going to ask you this. We talk about Tolbert, we talk about CD and Michael Gallup, James Washington. Is there any other guys that we're not talking about in-house that could make a spike next year in the wide receiver core? I mean, you hear Simi, you hear Vasher, Osiris Mitchell, the kid from Ole Miss. I forgot.
Dontaris Drummond.
Yeah, Drummond. So so there's some names floating around. So we have some guys who we really haven't seen a lot. Do you think there's any sleepers out there that can really take that spot and might sneak their way into the starting roster?
I think you mentioned 2 people already. You mentioned TJ Vasher, and you also mentioned Simi Fehoko. Simi Fehoko was the player last year, and you heard Mike McCarthy saying they had a plan with him. I don't want him to. I don't agree with them trying to move him to an H-back type of role. I don't like that. You draft him as a receiver. You can put him in the slot. He's 6'3". He runs the 4.3. I don't know if he's that fast guy, but I think he'll be fast enough if you put him in that slot. Let him work. Let him grow. You always got to switch players. So we'll see. I think those are the 2 players, in my opinion, though, Tuck, that I'm keeping an eye on because you got the size in Vasher, 6'6", ridiculously sized, but he's still ultra skinny. He really hasn't still put on no weight. He could be a red zone target. But I feel like they really need to figure out something with Fehoko because I've been saying this before. The 4th and 5th round picks, they love picking them and they love experimenting. Once you hit the 4th round, they love experimenting with you. And I don't want this to be a situation where they experiment with Fehoko and then the experiment don't work. And then next thing you know, they release them and then nothing, you just wasted the pick. Just like you had with the Robinson kid from Tulsa. They were moving
Bradley
him to corner.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bradley and now you move him here, you move him back, then you don't find a place for him, then he's cut. They need to find something out Fehoko because you drafted him for a reason. So let's figure him out.
Yeah, I agree. Like you got to do something with him, and give him an opportunity. And I think like last year, you really didn't see a lot of Simi in preseason. He really didn't get a lot of targets thrown his way, and it was kind of hard with our quarterbacks that we had throwing him the ball. But I think he has some upside as well. And like TJ Vasher was a guy I was screaming about last year, just simply off the catch radius. I mean, he's 6'6". You know what I'm saying? He's long, he's lengthy, like you say. He's kind of thin, but he can make things happen. And so you got to give some of these younger kids opportunities. You can't just throw them to the wayside. because you're wasting picks. And if you're going to be trading players like Amari Cooper away for 5th round
Right.
picks, you better damn well get the value back from it so you can see something out of it. So you mentioned Simi going to H-back, which I don't think is going to be the case now since we did go with Jake Ferguson. Now, there's a lot of tight ends in this draft class, James, that I love. You know what I'm saying? Top shelf. We didn't get any of those guys, but what's your thoughts on Jake Ferguson and what is he going to add?
I mean, I think he's going to be okay, Tuck. I think, we both talked about it, with what's the kid from Colorado State? What was his name?
Trey McBride.
Trey McBride. I mean, he was a dog. Let's keep it real.
Right.
And then you had some other, we had that, but they had their eyes on certain tight ends. Jelani Woods, they had their eyes on. I really think they were going to go after him in the 3rd round. He got picked up. Cade Otton, he got picked at the top of the 4th. And then the kid from UCLA, Greg Dulcich, I believe. Those 3 tight ends, I feel like they brought those guys in. They were targeting them. They were going after them. And so, in my opinion, they saw, hey, Jake Ferguson is a good tight end. We like the traits, and we can't let him go because if we don't draft him now, he probably going to be gone by the next round. So I like the thought pattern of it, and I like Jake Ferguson. I liked him a lot. I picked him in 2 of my mock drafts. I liked him even more after I seen him at the Senior Bowl because he has some wiggle. Not a super fast guy.
Right.
He got some wiggle. He got something to him. I don't know what it is, Tuck,
right.
but he got something to him that I like. And he got really, really, really good hands. And if we're talking about the 12 personnel that me and you both talked about, and we really like that 12 personnel, how it really turned up with Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz. If you can get Jake Ferguson to hit the ground running like we talked about with Jalen Tolbert, man, that's going to be a great addition because I don't think he's the great blocker that people are saying because not what I've seen.
Right.
He's an okay blocker. But if you can really get him in that pass catch, because I think, in my opinion, he offers a little more wiggle than Dalton Schultz.
Right.
And his hands are really good. So if we look at the value of it in the 4th round, that's a really great pick. And yes, Jake from State Farm. That's what I call him.
Jake from State Farm, yeah. And listen, because people got to understand, though, once again, even the tight end position at that state, we kind of got wiped out because, Trey McBride went 54 right before we took Sam Williams, so he was off the board. And then the Ravens, they weren't letting us have it. So they took Charlie Collier before us.
Exactly.
And then right after us went and got Isaiah Likely. So we were kind of, stuck with either Ferguson. And I feel like Ferguson fits the mold of what the Cowboys are trying to do more than Isaiah Likely, even though I loved Isaiah Likely as well because he gives us a lot more to stretch the field. But I agree, James. Like, I don't know where this, physical blocker is coming from. I think he's more of a willing blocker. He's not afraid to get in there, get dirty, but he's not, the best blocker, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like he's really cut from that Dalton Schultz cloth. Like, he's going to be reliable. He's going to do his job. When the ball comes his way, he's going to catch and secure the catch. And so, I think that 12 formation is definitely going to be important, which was the reason I really wanted to bring you on. As far as the offense, man, all right, so we know what we kind of have. Jalen Tolbert, James Washington, let's say, for the start of the season, CeeDee Lamb. We have our offensive line. You now have your new right tackle in Terrence Steele, Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott. Do you think that we have enough to still be as explosive as we was, or where our offense looks slightly different moving forward in Dallas?
I think our offense is slightly different moving forward right now. It's got stuff to prove, in my opinion. I feel like the script was flipped last year because I felt like the offense was ready-made. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's attack. And we saw what it was doing. We saw that offense was outstanding in the first few weeks of the season. And we knew that the defense was probably going to take a little bit of time. You got a new defensive coach. You got new different players. You're incorporating everything. But now when I look at 2022, I feel like it's flipped because now Dan Quinn has really put his mark on that defense. You got guys who are really buying into what he does. And then now it's kind of like Dan Quinn is like the man. So he can kind of get what he wants. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at what the defense is, it didn't lose a lot of players. You get what I'm saying? You lost to Randy Gregory, but I feel like what you did add can really supplement that. And I feel like the defense is going to be ahead of the offense. So I feel like the offense has got stuff to prove. Yes, you lost Amari Cooper, not crazy, but CeeDee Lamb, and I know you've been pushing him as the number one. I believe he's the number one too, Tuck. But we can't sit there and say that he does have stuff to prove. He hasn't seen what he had seen before because Cooper was the kind of the bullet shield, kind of the shield of what he's going to do. So now it is on Coop, and you're not going to have a Michael Gallup. You might have a rookie playing. James Washington hasn't been the guy. So your receiving core is not what it was.
Right.
Dalton Schultz is coming back, but you got a rookie in Jake Ferguson, and then you got a Sean McKean who's still young.
Right.
So I feel like you have to step back. So it's got to be a lot of showing and proving with this offense, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time for it to really catch up.
Yeah, and I agree. And I've been trying to explain that. It's like, all right, I feel like CD's a number one wide receiver, but he's going to be the only target primarily. And like I said on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? They're going to take CD away and make James Washington, Tolbert, and Dalton Schultz beat him until otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just going to be the defensive coordinator's game plan. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kellen Moore utilizes CeeDee Lamb. I feel like he has wide receiver one talent. It's clear as day, but he has to be used in a different manner. You can't just line him up out wide and expect Mari Cooper's type of results. He just needs touches, screens, you know what I'm saying, jet sweeps, quick slants, like all of it to really get involved and get him involved early and get things rolling. But what scares me, James, we didn't see a long list of wide receivers come and go in Dallas that we said the same thing about it, and we never seen it really transpire, you know? So that's the frustrating part. So hopefully Kellen Moore got an ego check, like I said last night. When you get turned down by all them head coaching jobs, you realize you're not as golden as you think. So maybe he's going to go back to the drawing board, and maybe we'll see Mike McCarthy finally put his hands on the offense. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was Mike McCarthy and I know my job is kind of in limbo, you would think that I want to be more hands-on, but it sounds like he got assistant coaches for assistant coaches, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know what Mike McCarthy's thought process is, but you would think that he want to be more hands-on with the offense and, you know, be the quarterback guru who we brought him in to be.
I'm 100% agree with you, and I'm going to just bounce off of that and say that does he want to still coach the Cowboys, or he just say, I want out of here as well? Because I would feel the same way, because if I'm going down with me running this. I'm going down with me controlling this. I'm going to call these plays, and I'm going to show you I'm still a beast. He did say in plenty of press conferences, I know how to coach. I'm a winner. He did say that. So my thinking is that you would be more, hands-on in there. And yes, the fire is on Kellen Moore, because he's got to be more, like you said, I totally feel you with the CeeDee Lamb thing. You just can't line him up on the outside and say, okay, let's do these 9 routes, 7 routes. You can't just do that with him. You got to be really creative with him, because he's that type of player that you can do that with. He's a creative type player. It's not a guy that you just sit out here and let's go just throw these routes like a Cooper. He's a different type of player. So don't treat him as such. And I think that's where I think the frustration where people come with Kellen Moore, because you got to see who you have as a team, right? You got to see your players. And when you look at your players, you say, okay, I may have this type of offense, but I got these type players. So guess what? I got to change up this offense that I usually run every single year to mold into the players that I have. And I think that's the issue with Kellen Moore for me. When you see your players, or you got a Tony Pollard, right? Everybody's talking about the Deebo Samuel. Tony Pollard play receiver. So this is the time in this offseason is to get real freaky with it. Let's say Tony Pollard, this is last year. Let's get freaky with it. You play receiver, let's throw him in that slot a little bit. We don't have any receivers right now. So why not throw this guy in there and let's do something kind of crazy with it? We're going to throw in wrinkles that you haven't seen before with our offense, and that's what he has to do. And coming from that kind of Scott Linehan cloth, it gets kind of, yes, it scores a lot of points. Yes, it gets a lot of yards, but it's not creative enough, in my opinion. This looks stale, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah, man. And like I said, James, I am not wasting another summer on dropping a Tony Pollard video on how we can get him involved in the offense. I refuse to do it, y'all. Y'all can check the last 3 I dropped every damn summer, because, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Here you are.
Makes sense.
Your wide receiver core is a little bit depleted. You can have Tony Pollard on the field at the same time with Zeke and create so many different matchup problems. I just like I said, Kellen Moore, if you need my Madden playbook, I got you, bro. Like, it's so simple, because it really puts you in a bind. Like you said, people want Deebo Samuel. Deebo, we have a player now. You know, Pollard's not as strong as Deebo, but he's more elusive than him. When one of those screenplays, he can go to the house. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out, man, because me personally, and I don't know if you agree, I feel like this is going to be Zeke's last year in Dallas, unless he makes some drastic pay cut, some drastic exception, which I don't think he will. So my concern is, James, is that Zeke is going to get that Amari Cooper treatment. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're going to try to diminish his carries, diminish his value a little bit.
Yep.
Which you would think logically they'll boost Tony Pollard up, but not enough where he's going to want to get asked for too much, just before you ask for the right price. And so it's frustrating as a Cowboys fan because you kind of see these behind the scenes things going on when it's not about winning and putting the best product on the field. It's about manipulating the cap and working for contracts in the future. And I already see the writing on the wall when it comes to our running backs.
And you know what? That's the frustrating part, Tuck. That you mentioned it, I mentioned it, I feel it in the air. Is that Stephen Jones already mentioned Zeke's contract. He's already mentioned his money. So if that's the case, and we know Tony Pollard is up on his contract, and just like you said, it's like we know the Cowboys way. They're not going to go too hard with Tony Pollard because then they got to pay him money.
Right, yeah.
So they're going to give him just enough to say, we'll bring you back, but you didn't go crazy numbers, so we're not going to pay you no money.
You didn't go Christian McCaffrey, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
and you can't really, and if you go somewhere else, okay, well, we're going to put this number out here, and if you ain't doing it, we ain't matching it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then with Ezekiel Elliott, they're going to say, oh, you 26 going on 27, and well, let's dumb it down a little bit so you don't go crazy and get like 1,500 yards, and people saying you don't bounce back, and then they got to say, oh, you cutting Zeke?
Right,
and then we got to carry on that cap. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're going to do just enough, maybe get 1,000, 1,100, and like, you know what I'm saying?
Little 1,007 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
It's really sad, Tuck, because we talk about this. We've been, I really feel you and I really appreciate you. And it's not about, this is the thing, folks. We ain't trying to bash Dallas and hate Dallas or anything.
Right.
But we really trying to tell y'all what it really is.
Right.
We not saying we perfect on all these analogies, but bro, look at the writing on the wall.
Right.
Stephen Jones said in an interview, we look at the cap 2, 3, 4 years down the line.
Right.
So if he's saying that in interviews, that's saying when I sign you to this contract at the beginning, you better get ready.
Right.
That's why I said Trevin Diggs, you better cut down them yards. You might got a lot of interceptions, but he better cut down them yards because Stephen Jones is going to use it against you.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Parsons, I feel bad for you. We got to get a Super Bowl for you before your contract come up. Because, dog,
man.
he love you now.
Oh,
but he
yeah.
ain't going to be loving you when that money's ready.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. Yo, life's crazy. Appreciate the super chat. He says, appreciate both being live. Appreciate you for the super chat. Yeah, man. Everybody love Michael right now until the negotiations hit. And here's what'll happen. Oh, you want DN money? You
greedy. You greedy.
You
already know what's about to happen, Tuck.
And it's so crazy because the fans are buying into it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, it's crazy.
Who sides with management, Tuck?
Right,
Even when you're at your job, you don't side with management.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My job's giving out pay cuts and laying people off. Well, I agree. It's what they got to do. Like, hell no.
What the hell? You wouldn't even do it at your job.
Right. Yeah. It's just crazy, man. So, yeah, I see the writings on the wall because you got to think when it's Diggs' time to get paid, it's going to be CD's time to get paid too. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the frustrating part. And like I said, for Zeke and Tony Pollard, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing works because you can kind of see something was rumbling last year why Zeke was so wanting to play on that bad leg. So
hold up, Tuck. Hold up. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm looking at this comment right here from Jose Christian. I remember you guys bashing the defense last year. How did it play out? When do you remember me and Tuck ever bashing defense? That's a lie.
Yeah.
We ain't never bashed no defense. No, we said, guess what? This defense is an unknown. We got to see what Dan Quinn gonna bring to the table.
Right.
That was very, very accurate because we had to see.
Right.
Because guess what? It didn't end great in Atlanta. Yes, it was over there in Seattle.
Right.
So we was never bashing defense, but we was doubting it. And that's okay.
Right.
And it had to bring it out. So no, don't say that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
And here's the fun part about that. All our stuff's public. Because I have a video.
Go on my videos.
I have a whole video explaining Dan Quinn's trajectories with his defense. So you might be concerned this year because typically in his first year, there's a huge spike in the uptick. And then it dies off a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? But that's when you bring context to the conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, everything's public. I don't delete no videos. Go find it where we bashing the defense last year.
Yeah, go find it.
Honestly, I bashed the offense more than I bashed the defense last year.
For real.
Which was crazy.
Defense is my mantra.
Right. Which was crazy. Let's see here. Says Stephen Jones says he has to get in front of new contracts. Yeah, it's the mindset of what they try to do, man. It's unfortunate. So let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. And we did add, I know that you were very high on Ridgeway. I love the kid, the Vanilla Gorillas, which you already named him, man. So, you know, he's already been tagged that nickname, but I feel like he's going to be some toughness to the defensive line. Now, Damon Clark, and I've seen your videos on Clark, but let me get your thoughts on him. Do you think that...
I love him.
I like him as a player, but do you... this is a red shirt season, right? Or am I tripping?
Right.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna feel you. You know how the Cowboys be lying, Stephen Jones be lying. You feel me? And they say, "Oh, he's gonna be back mid-season." Woo woo to woo. Too many other people saying he's gonna probably miss the whole year.
Mike McCarthy said we're gonna be extremely patient with him.
Right. So I'm not putting no stock in Damon Clark. I'm gonna keep it real, Tuck. I'm not even thinking about Damon Clark this year. If he hits the field, that's great. I'm not even thinking about him. That's why I've been pushing the Anthony Barr thing, because I'm not thinking about him, because I don't think he's gonna be ready. When we were doing the live draft, I'm gonna go back to this, boss. We was watching the picks, and boss was like, "This time we need to go ahead and get Damon Clark." And I was like, I don't care, dog. He got a neck injury. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's like, it's 5th round.
Right,
so
5th round. Right.
It's 5th round. You ain't spending a lot of money. I get it. So in that aspect, you got to feel good about it, because it's a 5th round pick, and his talent, it ain't no 5th round.
Right.
Period. So you love his talent. You just pray that everything's going to be good. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if everything is good, Tuck, if you got a Micah Parsons, Jabril Cox, and Damon Clark,
right? It gets nasty. It gets nasty. You know what I'm saying?
That is nasty. That's a nasty core.
So for the question that JC asked me, why didn't we get Nakobe Dean, is because if you take the injuries out the scenario, they're kind of on the same level playing field. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same type of value. But like I said, with the neck, you just never know. But you said about bringing Anthony Barr. I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? He gonna be asking for $5 million. Steve's gonna want to do him for $4 million. He gonna go to the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, right?
This is one we can make happen though, Tuck. There is no reason, Tuck, that this one can't happen.
Like I said last night, if I'm DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm going upstairs. Where did my money go? You know what I'm saying? Where did my money go, bro? Like Steven and Jerry ran off with the church's money, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing it going anywhere. They didn't even sign our damn kicker back. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did the money go? He did that to clear up cap space to bring in Randy Gregory. You botched that deal. You get Fowler. You get James Washington.
I didn't even see it like that, Tuck. You just opened my eyes to it. Like, damn, I forgot about that.
Right.
Like, he signed this type of deal for you to get money to sign somebody.
Right. And you did absolutely nothing. So you can at least go get an Anthony Barr. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand the Cowboys' thought process. And like I said last night, at least go sign Dalton Schultz to the deal. They can be like, okay, then that's where the money went. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least, you know what I'm saying? At least tell me where my church money went. You know, you ever go to a church like, we gonna be working on a brand new building. We working on a brand new building for like 8 years, bro. Where's the building? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you just said that. I was in a real life situation like that.
Yeah, man.
My pastor really went to jail for that.
Oh, for real?
Real talk. Like, you talk about building a building, he was saying, hey, yeah, we got this building. He really stole the money. It was 1.9 million. I ain't gonna say a name. 1.9 mil. It was real. So the stuff you just said, so that's real. What Tuck just said, that's real.
Yeah, man.
Taking the church's money.
Ran off with the church's money, man. So yeah, I think Clark is going to be a tremendous talent. Now we do have, Devin Harper. I'm kind of like, he'd be a special teams guy. Deron Bland, as far as corner's concerned.
What? Are they hyping him though? Harper's not playing.
It's hype season, man. You know what I'm saying? Because according to every Cowboys fan on Twitter, we stole the draft. Every pick was a steal. We did not miss one pick. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it, man. Drink the Kool-Aid. We need it right now. I'm like, bro,
I ain't drinking that.
Yeah. I ain't drinking no cups, man. We got Devin Harper. You know what I'm saying? We didn't need no Nakobe Dean.
Right.
And it's like, all right.
Oh, stop it.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You win the 6th round for a reason.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like I said, I understand Cowboys things. You got to get excited about something. Speaking of getting excited, so the schedule came out. How are you feeling with the schedules? Now, like I said, we don't really make predictions or anything. But when you look at it, with this team, with it's currently constructed, like I said, because it's hard because anything you base it off of, it's going to be off of last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, the Cowboys got the easiest schedule. Like, man, they make the same Eagles. They make the same Giants thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, teams have gotten better. But when you just look at the schedule in a nutshell, how are you feeling?
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. The first part of the schedule, I got us struggling a little bit, under 500.
Okay. And
then all of a sudden, we go on a win streak. After I have us upsetting the Green Bay Packers. Maybe it's just in my heart. I want to beat them so bad. But I feel like we slay that dragon when we go to Green Bay. And then after that, we roll off, I believe, like 7 or 8 straight. I feel like that's where the schedule gets a little bit easier. You got the Lions and the Bears, and then you have the bye, and then you hit the Packers, and then after that, I feel like the Cowboys going to roll. I feel like it's a lot of. Then it comes where you know how people start hyping us, like, oh, the boys might be back, wooty woo, and I feel like that's what's going to come, and I feel like I ain't gonna say what else going to happen after that, but let's just say I got us at 12-5. The first part of the schedule, we're going to be struggling, and then after we play the Packers, we got Minnesota, the Giants, Colts, Houston, Jacksonville, Philly, Tennessee, Washington. Let's look at them games. We can win most of them.
Should be able to run. So let me ask you this, right? Let's say the Cowboys do go 12-5, and we go to the divisional, or we win the division again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's been a hot topic. But we win the division. Is that enough for Mike McCarthy to keep his job? Fail?
Nope. No, he got to go to an NFC Championship, Tuck. You know that, and I know that. He got to at least get.
But here's my thought. But here's my thought process, James. No other coach has done that since they've been here at Dallas. Jason Garrett, like, we haven't had 2 consistent winning years. So for him to, even 2020 without Dak Prescott, we were still competitive. 12-5, got to the divisional. Let's say we go 12-5, win the division again. We win the divisional. You know what I'm saying? Like, or go to the divisional, win the wild card. I feel like that should be enough to want to build off of it, especially after everything you did to him this offseason. Like,
but listen, Tuck, if you go back in history and you look at Jerry Jones, he only give coaches 3 years. Look at him. Look at all through history, except it was Jimmy Johnson. Everybody else was like 3 years besides Garrett. And the only reason why they gave Garrett all that time because he was handpicked and they just wanted to prove everybody wrong. That's the only reason why Jason Garrett was here in 10 years. Not because Jason Garrett was a great coach. It's because they handpicked him and they wanted to prove everybody wrong. That's why he was here so long. Everybody else get a 3-year leash. He's on his 3rd year. He can have 12-5, but if he don't get to an NFC Championship and Sean Payton's out there, I don't care what other teams are talking about trying to get Sean Payton. They're going to, Jerry Jones going to throw the brick, the house, everything out that dude to come on over here to Dallas because he's going to say, well, this is the guy because this guy
look what
was
he's
here
done,
already before.
right?
You feel me? You already know what's going to happen, Tuck. You already said it in one of your tweets. Watch how the Cowboys move differently in 2023.
They're going to move hella differently next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I felt that tweet because I know what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, no, if I'm with you, man. If I'm Mike McCarthy, I already got my bags back, bro. Like, I'm saying, like, because he's pretty much set up to fail. I got to do what nobody has done in over 25 years. I'm going to lose my job. But if I show some consistency, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this. If it's not Sean Payton, do you think they move on from Mike McCarthy for an in-house move, whether it's Dan Quinn or, the Golden Boy and Kellen Moore?
The only guy. See, I was saying Kellen Moore before, Tuck. I was saying Kellen Moore was going to be the guy. But I feel like the way Dan Quinn came in and swooped that organization, Jerry fell in love with him.
And he won that game when Mike was out too. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? He scooped Jerry. And you know how Jerry is. I feel like Dan Quinn is just really scooped and he's more of a veteran. He's been there and done that. So look at Jerry. If we get rid of Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore has never been a head coach. Dan Quinn has, and he's got my whole team loving him.
Right.
What does it say? It says go Dan Quinn over Kellen Moore.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man. My guy Rome says it's Quinn. What do y'all think in the chat, man? Everybody thinks Quinn's the guy waiting and looming.
I think it's got to be.
I would think so. It's like, I know Dan Quinn. If I'm Dan Quinn, I'm low-key kicking myself for not taking that Denver job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man.
Y'all didn't tell me in the interview y'all was gonna get Russell Wilson, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't tell me I was about to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there was something to reel Dan Quinn back that was kind of promising him under the table. It's gonna be interesting, man. Because like me personally, like I said, y'all know I was kind of hard on Mike McCarthy, especially that first year, and he still does some boneheaded stuff. But I'm like, if he goes 12-5, wins the division for the first time since 2004,
it don't matter, Tug. We got it. Come on, because we just going in circles. If you go 12-5, 2 straight years, and you don't do anything with that, if you don't at least get to an NFC championship, what did he hire you for? I'm going to be, as an owner, sitting there saying, you wouldn't be that Tug. What did I hire you for? What I'm going to say, you ain't won nothing.
Well, I'm going to say next interview, well, you stripped one of my top wide receivers. You shift my, you know what I'm saying? Like
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? You stripped everything away from me,
and you know what I'm going to say? And you know what I'm going to come back and say? But you're a great coach.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why I hired you, to be able to fix that stuff.
That's why I hired you to be a fix. Yeah, you know that's why I brought you in.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Mike McCarthy, bro, you set up on a dummy mission. Like I said, they setting him up, you know, and it's already has the writing on the wall, man. But like I said, if he was to win the division, win a playoff game, we know why. You know what I'm saying?
He got to get championship, dog, and you know it, Tug.
He has to get there or win it.
He don't. I think it depends how it happens. If we get to a championship and it's just we get murdered, bye. But if we go to an NFC championship and we bang with them, and you just lose in the last minute, you know how Jerry is. Jerry is that guy that like, oh, okay, but you know, this is the first time we done got there in my 20-something years. Come on, I'm gonna roll with you these last couple years.
That's my frustration with the way this offseason went, man. Because I felt like in Cowboys Nation or Saturday, what we gonna do? We gonna sit down as a family. Because James, I gotta do it. We gotta watch that 49ers game. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there and I never went back. Never went back and crutch film. I couldn't do it. So Saturday we gonna do it live as a family and just get it out with. But I feel like with the way things ended, you would think the Cowboys were thinking, hey, we gonna keep the same team and just load the deck and come back stronger. But instead, they peeled it down. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Stephen Jones soft himself.
And that's what I'm saying.
Baby nuts.
That's what I'm saying. So Jerry would think, I want to stay aggressive and build off of that. Stephen Jones would be like, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me, Tuck. Who's running the team now? It's Daddy's money, but who's running it?
It's Stephen Jones, and that's what I'm saying. That's what scares me, man. That's what scares me. That's what scares me.
Right.
And like I said, and I think that's why I kind of been depleted this all season. Because like, man, we were right there. Like,
me too.
I felt something with last year's team. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
And the camaraderie, everything was close. Like, you just seeing how they interact, and then you just blew it up. You know what I'm saying? And then you not only blew it up, you let the other teams in the division close the gap on you. Like, come on, bro. Like, I just don't understand it, but we'll see. So, you know,
it ain't no we'll see, Tuck. You know what it is. You and me both know what it is. We don't want to say it because we Cowboys fans and we can't predict the future like Nostradamus. We can't predict it. But you know, like I know, you just said everything that was factual.
Right.
Look. You had a team that was 12-5. You were right. Okay, you didn't end the way you wanted. You got mopped. You didn't like that.
Right.
So wouldn't that tell you, as an owner or organization, you didn't finish like you wanted with that squad? You would even go even harder.
Right.
Just agreeing with you. You would go even harder. Like, okay, we're pissed off because we didn't like how we ended. Now let's go get this. Let's go get that. Let's go do this. And let's go ahead and run it back. But instead, you said, that's why I call them baby nuts.
Right.
Let's get rid of Amari. Oh, we tried to get Randy, but it just didn't happen.
Right.
That's why you scary. And then you want to go all in the draft. But here's the thing, Tuck. You take it just as big as a gamble in the damn draft. You draft players who ain't played in the damn NFL. Excuse my language. I ain't mean to cuss on your channel.
Are you good?
You got these guys who you ain't seen nothing in the NFL. And you gonna gamble on them? Oh, I know why you're gambling, because they cheat.
Right,
I don't like that mentality. I don't like the attitude. Meanwhile, I don't like the Eagles.
Right.
But they sat there and said, we got to the playoffs. We ain't satisfied.
Right.
We want the division.
Right.
We want to go right back to the Super Bowl. So we going all out.
Right.
How can you be mad at that?
That's what I've been trying to explain. Take the Eagles out the picture, y'all. Let's say it's the 49ers, okay? And they're doing the same thing and had the same draft. You would be like, they are making power moves. You know what I'm saying? And here's the crazy part where people got to understand when it comes to the Eagles. They do the opposite of what the Cowboys do. They have a young quarterback on a rookie deal. They loaded everything with Jalen Hurts. And if he flops, well, guess what? We'll draft a new quarterback for cheaper and have a brand new guy in there for 4 to 5 years on a cheap deal and still build around him. Versus the Cowboys, they'll say, you know what, Dak Prescott? If you want this money, we gonna take your number 1 wide receiver away from you. We gonna take this away from you and see if you really worth it and prove yourself that you worth this kind of money. Like, it's just a dumb mentality with the way that they think right now. And it's just frustrating to see that the dumb Eagles and Howie can figure it out, but Stephen Jones and Jerry can't. So it's
But you know why though, Tuck? You know why though, Tuck? And I'm gonna say this because you know why? Howie got fire on him. Because if he don't do it, he's gonna get fired, right? But who did Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have that fire?
Right.
That is the problem, Tuck.
Right.
That is the fundamental problem with this team.
Right.
See, Howie knows that if he don't get it right or he don't get aggressive, your job may be gone.
Right.
The Joneses don't have that pressure ever. Right. Nobody's ever pressuring them that you got to do this. So they take their time and do it with it.
Right.
And to me, that pisses me off even more because it's almost thumbing it in our face. It's like, oh, we're going to do it our way and we're going to take our time how we do it.
Right.
That pisses me off.
Right.
Meanwhile, all these other teams are getting aggressive, trying to get championships and trying to get Super Bowls while we sit there and take our time and keep on saying, oh, we're building through the draft and we're going to do it this way. Man, shut up.
Yeah, and like I said, the Rams won the Super Bowl and then added more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
you know,
I mean,
and Bobby
aggressive wins.
Bobby, and that's what I try to explain to people last year because everyone's like, Tuck, why would you pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl? Because sometimes when you just have supreme talent, you don't have to be on your A game. You can have a B- game or a C game, but your talent will overwhelm the other opponent. You know what I'm saying? But that's the crazy part about it. The Cowboys I just don't understand it. And coming from a history of team that thought that way, like we invented that whole way of thinking, and now to see it just absent is frustrating. Like I said, Bobby Wagner comes right there in our face. We pass on him, even going last year to KJ Wright. And so it really puts us in a bind where I feel like this year's class is more important than last year's class because we need them to step in day one.
We're putting all our marbles into it, Tuck.
Right.
We're putting all these marbles into these rookies.
Right.
You feel me? And that's just as big as a gamble. But you don't want to go out and get a free agent who's played 4 or 5 years, put in the work, showed you the numbers, getting it every year, but you don't want to do it because, he going to cost a lot of money.
Right.
So we're just, man, bro, like that thinking is not a winning mentality. And that's why I said Dallas going to win games.
Right.
They may win divisions, but they ain't never going to win big games.
Right.
They ain't never going to win and when it matters because that type of stuff don't work, Tuck.
And that's why I said, like, you know what I'm saying? And people are like, I'm actually happy with the Eagles was doing because we just can't rest on our laurels because what happens is they take the NFC East for granted, bro. It's just like, you know what I'm saying?
They do.
We got the best quarterback. We believe in Dak. And so they know as long as Dak is up and standing, we going to be in the conversation. We going to be competitive. But I'm not talking about competing versus the Eagles and the Giants. I'm talking about the Rams, the Bucks, the Packers, like these teams that are up here. What are we doing to really close that gap? And to be honest with you, I just haven't felt that we've done any move this year to tell Cowboys fans, you know what? We are all in committed to winning a Super Bowl this year. Not next year, not 2 years down the line, this year. Because I tell you what, James, they cranked them ticket prices this year. You know what I'm saying?
I know they did.
Yeah, they cranked it up this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, but it's just frustrating the Cowboys fan. Hey, my guy, Nick, I appreciate you with the super chat. Appreciate you, Tuck. Hope you're doing well, man. We're doing great, bro. Appreciate you for the super chat, the donation, man. Everyone hit those likes, them shares, get it up. If you haven't subscribed to my guy, Big Game James, go over there and do so ASAP, man, because he always brings that fire as y'all see. Do it ASAP, man. Speaking of defense, I want to talk about the corners real quick before I let you go. So we know Trayvon Diggs is in his 3rd season. It's been this whole conversation, gives up too many yards, not, but I think he's going to take another leap. We have Anthony Brown. We have Jordan Lewis, who's back. We also have Kelvin Joseph. Do you think, and we'll toss out everything off the field, that Anthony Brown is going to be the cornerback too, or do you see this actually being the year where Kelvin Joseph is going to take that spot back?
I was hoping Kelvin Joseph was going to be that guy. Then all this stuff happened. You feel me?
Exactly.
So I'm sorry. I can't count you, Kelvin Joseph, right now because I don't trust your brain. I don't trust your mind. I don't care what they're telling me. And Dan Quinn has been very vague about him. He's been, when they ask about Kelvin Joseph, oh, he's good all season. He's working hard, and then he moves on. You don't never say nothing about no daggone Kelvin Joseph. You feel me? So I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and say Anthony Brown again because guess what? Last year he had a career year under Dan Quinn. So what would make me think, Tuck, that he would not, after a career year, and Kelvin Joseph getting in trouble, he gonna lose his spot now? Sorry, I don't believe that.
And that's what I've been trying to explain to my viewers, y'all. Talent isn't everything. You coach. Can I trust you to do the right thing on and off the field? And Kelvin Joseph hasn't earned that trust with the Cowboys staff. And I think that's even going back to last year. You know what I'm saying? Because we were at camp. It was neck and neck. I'm not saying Kelvin Joseph had a horrible camp. He was legit at camp. He was out there balling when we had the conversation who should be starting. But at the end of the day, who can I trust to do the right thing and be game day ready and strictly focus on football? It's Anthony Brown. And Jordan Lewis ain't giving up his spot, too, because Jordan Lewis is a damn dog his damn self. And so I feel like you're going to see Kelvin Joseph, y'all, still in the special teams rotation. And you might see one of these rookies, you know what I'm saying? Because
Nashawn Wright's still there.
Nashawn Wright's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's more wood to the fire right there. So Kelvin Joseph, like I told him yesterday, lose boss man fact. You beat Kelvin Joseph, football. But you want a double uphill battle now because you got to earn all the respect back that you lost. Just to get back to that even playing field and then gain some. So I think that Anthony Brown's going to be solidified in this spot next year. And like I said, you might see Nashawn Wright take a leap as well. So,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we know KJ has the ability. There was nobody ever knocking that. But my thing from the very beginning was the mind. Was the mind. The red flags, they don't have red flags. Just throw out red flags, dog. And they don't just do that just for the fun of it. They're red flags. And whenever I see a red flag, I read them. And I check them. Then I go back. And they be real. And right now, if the red flag was real, and like you said, Chuck, he's got to earn the trust. So it's double because Anthony Brown has earned the trust, right? We're not hearing Anthony Brown, Tuck, getting in trouble all season, right?
Not never.
So if I'm a coach, Tuck, and you coached and played the game, if I got a guy who's supremely talented, but I can't trust you, and I got a guy who's good talent, and he's going to go hard for me all the time and I can trust him. I'm sorry. Until you talented the guy get together, I'm going with somebody I can trust.
Yeah, and unless the talent is supremely, you know what I'm saying?
Supremely. It got to be supreme. It got to be Deion Sanders.
Yeah, now if it was like Micah or something, that's a different scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it got to be that. It got to be that.
Yeah, it can't be no thin line. You know what I'm saying?
It can't be no, you know what I'm saying? It got to be supreme.
It got to be supreme talent right now. You know what I'm saying? If it was Micah getting in trouble, like, hey, man, he be all right. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out.
He be all right. Hey, come here and talk to me. Let's sit down. What's going on with you? But if you okay, nah, bro. Anthony Brown in here. You gotta be supreme.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all know me. You know, my guy out there, in LA, he living a good life, working. You know what I'm saying? He was that's the whole crazy thing about that KJ situation. Not to bring it up, but like, Asante was doing a live stream on Instagram about his workout. So he was live streaming. I was watching this live stream, you know what I'm saying, as he's getting ready. And this is way back like
you heard my heart mentioning this. You just heard my heart right now.
And so I was watching
him. You heard my heart, no.
I know. I was watching his workouts, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, let me go see what KJ was up to. And his entire Instagram was deleted. And that's before everything came out. And I was like, that's odd, you know what I'm saying? Because he loved the gram. You know what I'm saying? He loved the gram.
Yeah, I know he do. He loved Twitter, too.
I was like, all right, so what's going on? And then when it all came out, I'm like, yep, see? You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. Let's see. Big Game James Rome said, Big Game James should subscribe most of our draft picks. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going, and that's why I've been preaching to everyone, James. You got to be patient with this class. You know what I'm saying? Micah came out the gate, it was sexy. CD came out the gate, it was sexy. Diggs kind of took his bumps, but we kind of knew Diggs was going to eventually emerge. I think this year's class, y'all got to be patient because, Lord.
Got to be patient with this class.
Pray for Twitter if we come out there and Tyler Smith gets 2 holding calls out the gate.
Oh my God.
Cowboys
Man,
fans
I
gonna
feel
come
bad for
unglued.
him.
Cowboys fans gonna come
I feel
unglued.
bad.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be patient.
I think Tyler Smith's gonna be a okay player, but
Yeah.
Joe Philbin. I've been talking about Joe Philbin, Tuck.
Right.
That he's got to show and prove, man. I
Right.
don't care what anybody says. People are going to Duke Mayweather to get better. They ain't going
Right.
to Philbin. They ain't saying Philbin's getting them better.
Right.
And you got 6 guys that you picked up in the last 3 years. They got to show and prove.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I know that Duke he had teased Cowboys fans with his message. You know what I'm saying? I thought he got a new gig. But
that's what I was thinking.
It says something about your coach if three of your offensive linemen are going outside.
Are going to this dude?
Yeah.
Ain't even messing with you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm not in the game with coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, they going outside of you to work on their game in the off season. So that definitely explains something. But me personally, I would have moved on from Philbin. Like, I feel like in 2020,
me too.
He had some things going on, so the offensive line was serviceable. So they kind of
like 100 years old, Tuck.
Yeah, it's just not his thing no more. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's frustrating because our offensive line has to get better across the board. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go back, that's the one thing I do remember is like everyone was getting whooped that 49ers game. It wasn't just one side. You know what I'm saying? Everyone got a piece of it. So they got to get better. Now, I'm hoping that Tyler Biadasz will take a leap forward. I think that having Tyler Smith next to Tyler is going to help him a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the chip blocks and double blocks. You have a bigger guy next to you. But, like, if Ty Smith goes down, y'all, we lose a lot of flexibility because now you just got, Terrence on your right as your right tackle. So you might have to go to another rookie and Matt, let's go, or, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that, because we really haven't brought in a swing tackle to fill that void.
Right.
So, I mean, if we come into camp and, Tyron's nicked up a little bit, that can
well,
definitely
we got to
change
see
things.
it. But they was hyping this Josh Ball. Come on, man. You feel me? Like,
But then he
y'all picked
disappeared. They
Ball in
hyped
the
Josh
first
Ball
round.
and he just disappeared.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Tuck. That's why I'm frustrated because you got Matt Faranock from Nebraska. I thought he looked pretty decent in that Philly game. I know it was against backups, but I saw the feet was good. But you got to develop these guys. You drafted both of these guys in mid-rounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You drafted Biadasz. He hasn't progressed. He has regressed. Terrence Steele's gotten better, but it hasn't been through Philbin. It was through Duke Mayweather. So the jury is out, in my opinion, on Philbin.
Right.
He hasn't developed people on this offensive line. They try to hail him as the savior in 2020 because he moved Zach Martin. Zach Martin played tackle before.
Right.
So you didn't do anything extraordinary out here. You
And,
get what I'm
and
saying?
he complained about it, you know what I'm saying? But he did it, you know what I'm saying?
And he just said, I ain't playing there no more.
Yeah, I ain't doing it again. He said, don't ask me to do that again.
Don't
he told
ask
y'all
me.
clear as day. You know what I'm saying?
He said Terrence Steele can play it. He step up, let him play it.
Yeah, he got it. He good. Yeah, I mean, because people understand it's different, you know what I'm saying? And that's why me personally, if I just wonder how things would have panned out if we would have held on to Cooper during the draft and also Lyle during the draft. I mean, because we're not going to see the benefits of Lyle's money until June 1st anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you could have had more flexibility, but front office is going to front office, man. So we'll see. But like you said, hey, we in the roller coaster right now. We can't get off. You know what I'm saying? And it's what it is. Now, let me ask you this, James, before I let you go. Do you see any other moves? I know you mentioned Barr. Anybody out there that you think?
No.
Yeah. We done. We done.
This David Rowe just mentioned Jarvis Landry. I mean, why wouldn't you did that? They're so scared about hurting. I don't know if they're worried about hurting Gallows feelings or something like that. Jarvis Landry took base $3 million at the Saints. You couldn't afford that. Yeah, you could have.
Right.
You could have brought him in. That was a veteran. Let Jalen Tolbert grow. You don't have to rush Jalen Tolbert in there. He's going to be there for at least 4 years.
Right.
So you don't have to rush him. Let's get a veteran with attitude.
Right.
With attitude. Somebody who can bring attitude. You talked about, we want to draft guys who have attitude. We'll bring a guy in from the free agency that has attitude. There's nothing wrong with that. He ain't going to cost a lot of money.
Pay. Got to pay, man.
Oh my
they
gosh,
were up for the
man.
church's money. Let me ask you this. Is Cole Beasley signed?
Man, leave him alone. I don't want no drama with Cole Beasley.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm getting desperate, man.
I feel you. But I don't want, that going to be nothing but some damn drama.
Hey, man, I'm getting desperate. Like, I was in a Reddit group the other day, and they was talking about will Antonio Brown be how he would say the Cowboys offense. I'm like, we desperate out here, man.
Man, that's super desperate. Now, if you don't ever mention him ever.
It was a whole thread. I said, let me get up out here. Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr., You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, because
those players won't work in Dallas.
It ain't gonna work. Especially, you know what I'm saying, with our system over superstar, and Antonio Brown went in the last 2 games, man, out there. He have a damn
You
fit.
feel me? He be complaining, it be over, dog. That's just people just.
But see,
you know
Chris,
what,
I'm
Tug?
talking about from the depth perspective. Like, you need some depth bodies. You know what I'm saying?
You need
some,
depth.
Yeah, you need depth. Because I mentioned the name. Me and Rome mentioned the name yesterday at the linebacker position. Everybody freaked out. So I'm like, if you already,
we need depth at that linebacker.
I'm just like, if you already paying the man $6 million, he's unsigned, he knows the defense, he could be a depth piece, but you know,
I don't want to mess with Beasley though. That's just messy.
We've been messy all off season though, man.
I know, but we don't need more messy. I know.
Yeah.
We've been hella messy. We don't need more messy, dog. We don't need more messy. That's messy.
Yeah, you know, hell, I mean,
as soon as some cat passes don't go his way, he gonna say something. They gonna be like, "Oh no, that's messy."
But he was on his best behavior when he was here in Dallas a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He got the Buffalo start acting up.
He started turning up when he left up back.
They gave Beasley a mic. They gave Beasley a mic. He started talking
gave him that
too
mic.
much.
You know he rap. Come on, man. You know he would turn it all the way up.
Hey, yeah, man.
Leave him alone.
Doing way too much. But hey, my guy, I appreciate you for stopping by. Once again, man, let everybody in the chat know where they can find you.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you bringing me on, Big Dog. I love the show. Great having me. Great things are going to continue to happen for you, and I wish you the best. But if you want to check me out, Big Game James, you can check me out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Just hit up the handle. You know what it is. We just try to keep it real and funky, man.
Yeah, like I said, bring that fire, bring that realness, man. Like I said, I appreciate you, James. Like I said, from day one, you always encouraged me and motivated me to keep going, but most importantly, remain myself.
Yes, sir.
And I'm here. So when y'all get tucked, it's James's fault. He told me to be saying this.
Hey, Tuck, wow. Don't be messing with Tuck. Tuck will bully you. He will knock on your door.
Hey,
where you live? I'll be at your house.
Yeah, I'm at your door with it, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, people been seeing me in the suit, man, thinking I'm soft. Like, nah, bro, it ain't going down like that.
Yeah, you know Tuck will come to your house, dog. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't be talking that mess. He'd be like, "Where you live at again?" All right, you know what? I seen your location. Yeah. Your location was on. I'm at you.
Yeah, I'm at your throat with it, man. Hey, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to keep the shows going. Got great guests. Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk, my guy, Big Game James, Joe from Philly the podcast, and Lord Brunson will be going live Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Cowboys Nation, show up and represent, because them Eagles fans, they've been chirping. We going to silence them. And then on Monday, right here at 7 p.m., me versus Lord Brunson. We got some things we got to address.
I'm gonna check that one out.
It's going to be a fun one. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a fun. We got some things we got to finally talk about. But yeah, for people seeing me the first time, CFO Sports, comment, like, subscribe. You can go to cfosportstalk.com to get your merch. We're starting to type articles. We're doing a lot of things over there. Follow me on all social media platforms at jtuck151. And of course, every Sunday morning on 810 WHB Radio, ESPN Kansas City, with my guy Darren Smith. We go live. We talk basketball, college sports. We talk everything. We actually talk to the radio station. They're gonna let me start streaming it to the channel so y'all can watch it directly here on the YouTube. So you know, they were kind of iffy. What you gonna do with it? Like, hey, you know, I'm gonna put it on my channel so my viewers can watch it a little bit closer. Like,
you feel me?
Nobody listen to radio, you know what I'm saying? Listen to radio like that. So. Nick, my guy, I appreciate you with another super chat. He says, any chance Lindstrom can win the starting center job this year? I like Alex Lindstrom, but I don't think he's going to win the starting job.
Nope.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But I like his talent.
Yeah,
I
like his talent. Yeah, they're not going to give him a starting job. They believe in Tyler. Nope. They're going to stick with Tyler until Tyler flops out, which I don't think they will. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out, man. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Like I said, Saturday night, we're going to watch that 49ers game and get that over with and put it behind us. Bury it, that 2021 season, because we got to move forward. Because at the end of the day, we ain't gonna back down. Like I always say, James, we're gonna respect our opponents, but we ain't gonna fear nobody. You know what I'm saying? So when we get to the game, we ain't fear nobody, bro. So it's like, it is what it is. I'll give you hats off, credit, great offseason, great draft. But when it's time,
you still gotta bang us, and we still own you.
Right, exactly. We own them by a large landslide.
We own you.
Hey, still 3 of their content creators still gotta wear Cowboys jerseys on their show. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? We own y'all.
I can send that text at any time. You know what I'm saying? I can send that text at any time, man.
That's why I don't pay no attention to it, Tug. They can say all they want, but we own you. We own the East. That's what it is, and that's just the truth.
Facts, man. Hey, everyone in the chat, I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, get my Mavs right, and go Cowboys.
Go
Cowboys.